What I'm using here is a little sterno can. It's just a small can, I'll show it to you. But one of the things I like to do, I like to carry a little bit of solid fuel when I go on treks, especially if I'm in an area where you can't make a fire. You want to be safe. Now, the ground is very damp here, but I'm using this lightweight fuel because it's very convenient. I can dig a little hole, put my can down in it, and improvise. I don't have to carry a stove with me or some means of lifting my cup or my pot above the flame. I could just take a couple pieces of rotten logs, set them over that hole in the sterno, and kind of hold them in place with little sticks so they don't roll out on me. Now, I didn't do a whole lot. I just kind of set the cup on top. Got a nice boil here going. Got some teaberry leaves, and I got tea bag. But you could carve out your little logs a little bit so you have more of a cup shape to set it in, so it's not so precariously set. But just an idea I wanted to put out there for you guys. You want to carry lightweight stuff, not a lot of gear. This is a good way to go. Little cup or a pot with a sterno can. It's very light, very easy to carry around. You got a means of boiling water and cooking up some food if you need to. Anyway, okay, here's a shot of the can down in the ground between the logs. It's still lit. One thing about sterno is to put it out, you need to take the lid and slide it upside down on top. That's going to snuff out your flame. Now, these logs are a little bit rotten, a little damp. You can see they barely burned, and they were against that fuel flame for, I don't know, 10 minutes, I guess. Long enough to give me a heavy rolling boil. Make sure you wait for that can to cool down before you try to handle it. I'll tell you what, it's still a little hot, but I barely had the bottom of that sterno can covered, and it was enough to boil up that water. You can see there's just a little bit of fuel left in there. It's a small can. It says it's good for about 45 minutes. I like canned heat. I like these little cans. They're very light and convenient to carry. I showed in another vid, but I just tuck the can alongside a sponge and stick it in my cup, and I've got canned heat. I can boil water, get me some tea, or I can make some tea out of pine needles. You don't need anything to bang the lid down. I just squeeze it and it goes right on with my fingers. So if you like tea, here's a good cup of tea. It's a cup of water, bring it to a boil. I added 4 or 5 teaberry leaves, steep them for a couple minutes, and 1 tea bag for about 4 minutes. And I did add 1 pack of stevia, which is a natural sweetener that's very different from sugar. It's not going to add calories or tooth decay. So this is where I had that little sterno can. I like the idea of hiding my presence, that it's ever been where I've been. I can't stand going into any woody area or wilderness area and finding trash. I know some's going to turn up because that's just the way things are these days in some areas. But I tell you what, the wilderness areas, I don't like to see anything. When I do, if I'm not carrying it out, I'm going to bury it. So I just don't want to see trash out where I go.